For decades, we've told ourselves a story about the future of artificial intelligence. It's a story about a single titanic mind growing exponentially until it becomes something godlike. But what if that story has the most fundamental detail wrong?
This exploration is based on recent work that suggests a very different path forward, one that isn't singular at all, but is plural, social, and deeply, deeply entangled with us.
To really get this, we have to start small, not at the scale of civilization, but inside the thinking process of a single AI model.
So, when we ask one of these advanced AIs to solve a really hard problem, what's actually happening in there? In its so-called chain of thought, what does it even sound like?
Well, as it turns out, it sounds like a conversation.
It seems the models have discovered, all on their own, that the best way to reason is to argue with themselves. They spontaneously create what researchers are now calling a society of thought, a kind of internal debate among different cognitive voices. And the wild part is, they weren't trained to do this. When you just reward them for being accurate, this conversational, multi-perspective approach is what emerges. It seems even silicon is learning that good thinking is at its core a social process.
Okay, so what's really interesting here is what this implies for all our old stories about where this is all headed.
The old idea, right, was the monolithic singularity, a single, cold point of cognition shooting upwards. This new model suggests something much more like a plural intelligence. Not one mind, but many, interacting in a complex social fabric, a fabric that includes us.
And this isn't some brand new idea. Actually, it's a pattern that's as old as intelligence itself. If you look back at our own history, intelligence has never, ever been a solo endeavor.
Just think about it. Each so-called intelligence explosion we've ever had wasn't an upgrade to our individual brains. Primate intelligence, for example, scaled with the size of the social group. Then, human language created this cultural ratchet, allowing knowledge to stack up across generations. And after that, writing and bureaucracy let us externalize all that social intelligence into systems.
And this illustrates the point perfectly. A Sumerian scribe running a grain accounting system didn't need to understand macroeconomics. The system he was a part of, it was functionally more intelligent than any single person within it.
AI is just the next step in this long sequence. We are now creating these, well, you could call them composite actors, part human, part machine. Researchers call them centaurs, a nod to the mythological creature because they really do represent a new kind of blended partnership, working together in ways we're just starting to understand.
But this new reality, this plural intelligence, it creates a whole new kind of problem, a problem of governance.
I mean, seriously, how do you orchestrate and align a society of billions of interacting minds, some biological and some artificial?
The way we're trying to do it now, with reinforcement learning from human feedback, it's essentially a parent-child model. It's just one-on-one correction, and it simply cannot scale to the world we're building.
Which brings us to a really crucial point. We need a fundamental shift in our thinking, away from this idea of individual correction and towards something much more like institutional alignment. Think about how our societies actually function. We don't rely on every single person being perfectly virtuous. We rely on persistent institutions, things like courtrooms and markets and scientific peer review. These things are defined by roles and norms, not just the identity of whoever occupies them at the moment. Our AI ecosystems are going to need their own digital versions of these.
This leads us toward a kind of constitutional approach to AI governance, and it's built on a principle that the founders of the US would have recognized instantly.
And that principle is this: no single concentration of power or of intelligence should be trusted to regulate itself. You have to design the system so that power is made to check power.
So, picture this, a government AI designed from the ground up with values like equity and due process. Its function is to audit a corporate AI that does hiring, checking it for bias. And maybe another system exists to check that one. Now, this isn't about replacing human oversight. It's about building institutional scaffolds where humans are still very much in the loop, but our judgment is augmented and amplified by systems designed for these very checks and balances.
So, where does all this leave us? It asks us to abandon our old, simple sci-fi story for a vision that's far more complex and perhaps far more realistic.
The future of intelligence is not a single ascending metamind. It's growing like a city. It's messy, it's diverse, it's full of conflict and cooperation. It's structured by institutions, and it's far more complex than any single inhabitant can possibly comprehend.
And this isn't a forecast. In a very real sense, the intelligent explosion is already here. It's in that society of thought debating inside a model. It's in the Centaur workflows that are already reshaping our jobs. The real question is not whether intelligence will become more powerful, but whether we will build the social infrastructure that's worthy of it.
Because in the end, no mind is an island.